You just never think that something this devastating would happen. It was horrible.
Julia Miller fights back tears as she walks through her family's burned out property in Bastrop. Her children's charred bicycles barely recognizable.
All my kids' baby pictures, I had memory books that were that full of, first steps, first words, first everything.
The Millers were away visiting family when the fires broke out Labor Day weekend.
And just went all the way back there. And I guess it came up right there.
But Julia is perhaps most upset that their 2 dogs were locked inside the house and have never been found.
You put pink ribbons on your mailbox if they open the door and let the dogs out, and we didn't have a pink ribbon on our mailbox.
Julia has joined more than 36 families who are filing suit against their power company, Bluebonnet Electric, blaming the utility for the Labor Day fires. Investigators with the Texas Forest Service concluded the fire began on Leigh Street in Circle D subdivision when heavy wind blew a dead tree into a power line, sending sparks to the dry grass below. The Forest Service also pinpointed a second origin 12 miles away in McDade. Same scenario, wind snapped a dead tree into a power line. The 2 fires joined forces and blackened 34,000 acres, destroyed 1,600 homes, and killed 2 people. The lawsuit contends Bluebonnet dropped the ball by not keeping the trees trimmed near the power lines. Bluebonnet says the dead trees were outside its easement and the responsibility of the property owners. But easement paperwork from Circle D subdivision in Bastrop gives Bluebonnet the jurisdiction to trim trees within or outside the easement area, which might interfere with the lines.
I look at every power line. Is that safe? Is that safe? Is that safe?
Next to Julia's property, we found power lines still dangerously intertwined with trees, including dead ones.
It makes me upset, really upset that it could have been prevented.
Keep the trees off the power lines, and they just didn't do it. They neglected to do it, as far as I'm concerned. This was the front door here.
Mike Baker also blames Bluebonnet for the fire. He was renting a condo in Bastrop. This is all that's left.
We're really happy here. The forest was lush and you could see deer running around.
Mike barely had time to get out before the fire arrived. He too lost everything.
These people need to be taught a lesson.
Bluebonnet Electric refused to go on camera, speaking only through a statement, calling the fires an act of God, an unavoidable accident. Indeed, the conditions that weekend were a perfect storm, a record-breaking drought, covering the forest floor with dried pine needles, fueled by circular hurricane-force winds.
Got a little shop here.
But Curtis Lamson, another plaintiff in the suit, doesn't buy it.
Do you think this was an act of God?
I think it was 100% preventable, actually. I mean, the wind blows all over the country. There are trees everywhere. There are power lines everywhere. There's no reason why this should ever happen again.
Lamson lived here for 33 years. It was where he and his wife raised their 6 children, living next door to his mother. Nothing is left on either property.
We have just been waiting for this to happen, and I had no idea it would be this big.
Attorney Bill Rossick is representing the fire victims in the lawsuit. He points to the minutes from Bluebonnet's annual meeting in May, where CEO Mark Rose urged members to pray for rain, warning that pole fires are a constant threat in these conditions.
Bluebonnet knew of the significant risk of this happening and failed to act.
The plaintiffs are seeking significant damages, but all say they want to send a message to Bluebonnet to make sure this never happens again.
It's like the least we deserve is an apology. Somebody to say, I'm sorry, Bastrop, for burning down your whole town.